What's going on, guys? Killer6 back with another Borderlands 3 top 10 list, and this time I'm covering the 10 best improvements that have been made to Borderlands 3 since launch. With a lot of players returning to the game now that all the DLCs are out and the level cap is finally locked at 72, I figured this is a great time to highlight some of the amazing changes we've gotten from this game. With that, let's dive in.
And number 10 is...
Starting us off at number 10 is the overall approach and balance adjustments. Early on in the game's lifespan, the devs were constantly trying to balance things by the way of buffs and nerfs. That did not go over well with a lot of players who said, this is a PvE game, why would you nerf anything? But the fact is, this is an online multiplayer game, and some balancing was needed, just as it was on Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1, and all the other Borderlands games over the course of their lifetime. But in the last year now, Gearbox has taken the approach to almost exclusively buff items that are underperforming and leaving everything else pretty much alone. Recently, we even saw the return of the Unkempt Herald as a premier weapon in Borderlands 3, which is a little trip down nostalgia lane right there for you guys.
Number 9, this better be good!
At number 9, adding legendary artifacts and class mods to the Proving Grounds chests. One of the more recent changes was the reduction in world drop rates of legendary items on Mayhem mode in response to complaints that legendary loot was far too easy to get. An unintended side effect of that was that it became more difficult to get random class mods and artifacts. So Gearbox listened to suggestions and added legendary artifacts and class mods as potential rewards from the final chest of each of the Proving Grounds maps. To get the legendary rewards though, you do have to complete the Proving Grounds as quickly as possible. The slower your completion, the less legendary loot you get, or you could even get none if you complete it way too slow. I love this change as it gives us a reason to do the Proving Grounds, and also it gives us a reason to try and improve our builds, our gear, and our overall speed.
8! 8's a good number! Strong, solid number, you know what I mean?
At number 8, adding a true difficulty on takedowns and Proving Grounds. As of the time of writing this top 10, Gearbox has not made the Proving Grounds or Slaughter maps have a switch to enable true difficulty, aka 4-player difficulty even if you're playing solo, but the takedowns do have that option, and it's an excellent change that gives the better players a challenge. What they did with the Proving Grounds was a multi-week event where each week they made one of the Proving Grounds bosses have a raid boss level health and damage, and gave that boss 2 guaranteed legendary drops, one from the base game and one from DLC, and this was awesome. So hopefully Gearbox listens and adds a switch to Proving Grounds, maybe even the Slaughter maps, to kind of keep that difficulty there for players that need it.
Number 7, Gary, I swear, if you left the wrong sign one more time, just one more time.
For the number 7 slot, I'm going to go with the addition of Season Pass 2. I have seen a lot of comments from people saying the Season Pass 2 is a money grab and that since they bought the Season Pass at launch, they should get this content for free. But what those people fail to realize is the original Season Pass delivered all of its content and more. With Season Pass 1, it was very clearly listed that you get 4 story DLCs. But in addition to that, they also gave us 2 takedowns, multiple seasonal events, more on that in just a moment, balance changes, level cap increases, new weapons and skins, and much more. In previous Borderlands games, you had to pay for level cap increases, you had to pay for headhunters, and I don't remember the outrage over that. So when they finally delivered on that final DLC, they could have just stopped supporting the game entirely right then and there, but we as players wanted more. We wanted more content, more to do, so they delivered Season Pass 2. It's not a money grab. It's not a slight on people who got more than their money's worth with Season Pass 1. No, it's just more content, including new skill trees for each Vault Hunter, arms race, 3 raid bosses, more loot including the Revolter shield, which is basically a new and improved B shield in case you are missing out on that, and the Ava murder mysteries, which delivers some very powerful moments of story and gives Ava some redemption while setting up future content.
Number 6. I know 5 ways to kill a guy with a sign, Gary. 5.
At number 5 is a change that happened as a direct result of the community spreading out loot pools and adjusting drop rates. You guys helped me compile a list of named enemies that had no drops quite a while back. We gave that to Gearbox, they ran with it, they spread out loot pools more evenly, and they adjusted drop rates to make everything have as close to a 10% drop rate as possible. There's still some drops with lower rates, but that gives us some rare loot to chase as well. I also like the addition of Mayhem specific loot, like the Monarch being locked to Mayhem 6 and above. This gives players a reason to increase their Mayhem levels and try for better loot. Now that said, I would still love to see them add Pearl Essence as extremely rare drops in Borderlands 3. Please, Gearbox, make that happen.
Come on, get to number 4. I got places to be.
At number 4 is another very recent change, the addition of the Annointment Reroll machine in Sanctuary near Crazy Earl's place. Now, if you find a gun, a shield, or grenade, and it has an anointment that you hate, but you don't want to farm for a better one, you can spend Iridium to reroll the anointment. Now, is this system perfect? No. I think the reroll cost probably needs to be lower, maybe 50 to 100 Iridium per reroll, or remove a bunch of anointments from the loot pool. Also, it would be great if you didn't get anointments for other characters when rerolling. For example, if you're on Amara and you reroll an anointment, it would be nice to not see any Moe's anointments. Now, I don't know if that's possible from a coding perspective. I'm not a developer. I don't know anything about that stuff, but it's a wish list sort of thing for me. Now, despite those flaws, this is still an awesome addition to the game, giving you a way to fix an item that you got that has bad anointments on it is just a really cool feature. And for all those people who are like, well, it sucks because, I spend this much Iridium. Well, this isn't designed to be the way that you farm for gear. This is designed to be a way that you fix something that has a bad anointment. It shouldn't be the thing that you use for all your gear. No, go out and farm stuff. Nothing is that challenging to get in this game.
This one is the best it can be. It's number 3.
At number 3 is Crossplay. Finally, we can now play across platforms. The only bad thing is that Sony is holding out and wanting to actually charge for allowing crossplay, but I'm hopeful that they will get on board eventually too. Being able to play with other players regardless of what platform they're on is huge for a game like Borderlands 3, and hopefully future Borderlands games have this as a feature at launch.
And now the number that number 1 spits on, number 2!
At number 2, the return and permanence of seasonal events. The Cartels, the Bloody Harvest, and the Broken Hearts Day are all now permanent additions to the game with no DLC required. If you own the base game, you get all of those for free. You just have to be online. For a while now, we've been asking for these to become permanent parts of the game, and we've been debating on how much we'd even be willing to pay for them. Well, Gearbox released them free to everyone. So now you can get an on-level OPQ, a Ghast Call, Yellow Cake, Fish Slap, No Pew Pew, Grease Trap, Wedding Invitation, and so many more amazing items at any time. This also means we can return to the best map in the game, Vila Ultraviolet. If you've never done the Cartels content before, then you are in for a treat. I still cannot believe that they gave these away for free, but I am so glad that they did.
Honorable mention.
For the honorable mention, I'm going to go with the Annointment Rebalancing. Now, recently they reduced the power of 3 anointments. I know you're going to say, well, that's a nerf, K6. You just talked about how they have been nerfing things. Honestly, those needed it. There was really only 3 or 4 anointments that everybody used on every single build. So I'm glad that they brought those down in power. Now, you can call it a nerf if you want, but really, it's a nice rebalancing is what actually happened here. And instead, they've now buffed up a bunch of the underperforming anointments, making the playing field more balanced for anointments in general. Because of this, I actually, on my recent Atlas Allegiance playthrough, killed Mayhem 10 level 72 Hemovorus using a clone active ammo regen anointment instead of a damage anointment. It was a very nice change of pace, and I highly recommend trying out some of the other anointments now.
And you've been waiting for it. Here we are, number 1!
At number 1, nothing has been better for this game in my opinion than having the option to play without annoying modifiers introduced in Mayhem 2.0. So I am saying Mayhem 11 is the best overall change to this game, in my opinion at least. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys like the best. I loathe modifiers, just hate them. I cannot stand the Mayhem modifiers. I get what they were trying for, but instead it was just an annoying mess. I am so thankful to be done with them by having Mayhem 11 as an option. With Mayhem 11, you get the same loot as you would on Mayhem 10, but without the modifiers to deal with. It does say that you will get less loot, Iridium, and XP when you switch to that, but as of the recording of this video, they haven't actually ever made those changes take effect. And instead, you still get all the same benefits as you would on Mayhem 10. Don't know why, but I'm cool with it. Personally, I would love to see them learn from Mayhem for future installments of the game and keep anointments and Mayhem modifiers out of the game entirely. But you guys let me know what you guys think down below. So those are the biggest changes to Borderlands 3 since launch. Some amazing positive fixes and improvements that have made Borderlands 3, in my opinion, the most fun game in the series to date. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're new, hit subscribe for more Borderlands content. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.